Hi everyone. In this video, I'll be discussing about two spacecraft which was launched in 1977, and these two spacecraft called Voyager 1 and 2 are exploring where nothing from Earth has flown before, continuing their more than 40 years journey since they were launched. Voyager 1 probe was launched on September 5th, 1977 by NASA. It was part of the Voyager program to study outer solar system and interstellar space beyond the sun's heliosphere. The primary mission was the exploration of Jupiter and Saturn. After making strings of discoveries, meaning Jupiter's moons, active volcanoes on Jupiter's moon Io, Jupiter's great red spot was indeed a large storm, and intricacies of Saturn's ring, the mission was later extended. The probe made flybys of Jupiter, Saturn, and Saturn's largest moon, Titan. NASA had a choice whether to do a flyby of distant world Pluto or a flyby of Saturn's mysterious moon Titan. This is because it was known that Titan to have substantial atmosphere. Voyager 1 studied the weather, magnetic fields, and rings of the two gas giants and was the first probe to provide detailed images of their moons. From Saturn, the Voyager 1 started to travel towards the planet Neptune's orbital path. Not the planet, but its orbital path. And once it passed that orbital plane, the equipment on board started to send interstellar plasma. It has by then left Kuiper Belt and heliopause a while ago, and now heading into the solar system's scattered disks. Basically, it is approaching the hypothetical inner boundary of Oort clouds. It will take at least 30,000 years to completely exit these hypothetical Oort clouds and start venturing into other stars. Fun facts here. As of October 11th, 2021, the Voyager 1 is traveling at a distance of 154.7 AU. AU means astronomical unit. An astronomical unit is the distance, average distance between Earth and Sun, which is about 150 million kilometers. Now let me give you the distance in kilometers and miles, which is about 23.1 billion kilometers or 14.4 billion miles from Earth. It is the most distant artificial object from Earth as of today. As I am posting this video, the Voyager 1 has been operating for 44 years, 1 month, and 30 days. Still communicates with Deep Space Network to receive routine commands and to transmit data to Earth. Voyager 2 went on to explore Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, and is still the only spacecraft to have visited those outer ice planets. It flew by Jupiter for gravity boost. During this time, scientists identified subsurface oceans in Jovian moons like Europa and Ganymede. Voyager 2 successfully fulfilled its primary mission of visiting the Jovian system in 1979, the Saturnian system in 1981, Uranian system in 1986, and the Neptunian system in 1989. It is the only spacecraft to have visited either of these two ice giants, Uranus and Neptune. Voyager 2 was the fourth of the five spacecraft to achieve the solar escape velocity, which allowed it to leave the solar system. The spacecraft is now in its extended mission of studying interstellar space. As of October 7, 2021, Voyager 2 has been operating for 44 years, 1 month, and 25 days, reaching the distance of 128.2 AU or 19.2 billion kilometers or 11.9 billion miles from Earth. The adventurers of current mission, the Voyager interstellar mission, will explore the outermost edge of Sun's domain and beyond. Scientists are hoping to learn more about interstellar region. Both spacecrafts are still sending scientific information about their surroundings through the Deep Space Network, also called DSN. The Voyagers have enough electrical power and thruster fuel to keep its current suite of science instruments until year 2025 or little beyond. By the time Voyager 1 will be about 13.8 billion miles or 22.1 billion kilometers from the Sun, and Voyager 2 will be around 18.4 billion kilometers away. Eventually, the Voyagers will pass other stars. In about 40,000 years, Voyager 1 will drift closer to Giza 445 star, roughly about 1.6 light years or 9.3 trillion miles distance. The Voyager 1 will be just passing through that star. In about 40,000 years, Voyager 2 will pass 1.7 light years or 9.7 trillion miles distance from star Ross. And this is the most interesting. And in about 300,000 years, roughly, Voyager 2 will pass one of the brightest stars in our solar system, closer to our solar system, which is Sirius, which is about 25 trillion miles or 4.3 light years. It will go that close to that star. The Voyagers are destined, perhaps eternally, to wander in our galaxy Milky Way. Pale blue dot is a photograph of a home planet Earth taken on February 14, 1990 by the Voyager 1 space probe from a record distance about 6 billion kilometers or 40.5 AU. It was a part of a family portrait series of images was taken of our solar system. In the photograph, Earth's apparent size is less than a pixel. The planet appears as a tiny dot against the vastness of space among bands of sunlight reflected by the camera. Voyager 1, which had completed its primary mission and was leaving the solar system, and was commanded by NASA to turn its camera around and take one last photograph of Earth across the great expanse of space, at the request of astronomer and author Dr. Carl Sagan. The phrase pale blue dot was coined by Carl Sagan in his reflection on the photograph's significance, documented in his 1994 book of the same name. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't, and click the bell icon, notification bell, and leave your comments below. I want to quote what Dr. Carl Sagan said. We succeeded in taking that picture from deep space, and if you look at it, you see a dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever lived out their lives. The aggregate of all your joys and sufferings, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, and every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and person, every young couple in love, every hopeful child, every mother and father, every inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our space lived there on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. I hope you enjoyed this video. Cheers.